Hello, and welcome back to Starfighters Italia for another XTC 2021 match, this time for round 3. Today on our table we have Nicola for Croatia, running his Rebel Alliance team with Dash Render, Jake Farrell and Wedge Antilles, confronting Rich Polley with, in my opinion, the coolest resistance list of the tournament. You wanna know why? Because he has my man Venny, he has Joff Sea Striker, the pilot with the worst name ever, and my girl Zizi. So, I'm soon going to be joined by a very special guest. The ones already watching the stream might have spotted a very interesting name, bottom right of the screen, Mr. Darren Granger. He's currently having a important call, so he's gonna join very, very soon. So far so good. Round 3 of Group Stage XTC has seen already one team prevailing on its opponent. For those curious, Singapore has just topped Poland 4-0. So that's something that most of the people was not really expecting, because, oh yeah, Singapore, we haven't seen so many players around, but just so you know, these players are the shit. They are really, really good. XY is doing a great job. His teammates are really, really solid players, and as everybody imagines, like, Poland is one of the strongest teams. Obviously, this is not meant to detract any time from Poland's performance, but just so you know, there's another very strong team on the radar. So, I can hear that Darren has joined back, so in 3, 2, 1... Mr. Granger, you are now live. You may introduce yourself.
Hello there, everybody in X-Wing Land. My name is Darren Granger, and I will be your co-host for this evening.
Yay! Piffo and Darren sitting on a tree.
Am I allowed to swear on this stream, or is it family friendly?
I don't know. If anybody has family watching, please send them to another room so we can't swear. Like, I would say we are easily PG-16, is that a thing?
Hey, I am the first person to ever get a PG rating on Gold Squadron, so
Oh yeah, like, as I always say, low quality stream but great quality puns, so have fun. I mean, if people wanted something professional, they would now be watching Gold Squadron or Exiled, not Starfighters Italia.
Hey, Starfighter Italia is my favourite Italian streaming service.
Yay! You can now enroll to our Patreon OnlyFans to receive pictures of my feet every day.
You've got an OnlyFans? Amazing.
I think I do. I think my wife set it up for me.
Even better.
Yay!
So, have we run through the lists?
I very quickly went through the list just by shouting the name of the pilots and stating that Reach has the coolest resistance list in the tournament because he has many. So, yeah.
Well, let's be honest, they're Irish, they're all about resistance.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry.
Do you want to go through the Rebel list, Nicola's list? I don't know if you can actually see it.
Yeah, sure. I can see both lists perfectly. So on the Rebel side, who's the Rebel player? Sorry.
Let me see how much I can butcher his name. Nikola Bakaric, or Bakaric. Sorry, I'm terrible with accents, for Croatia.
Cool. So we've got Croatia versus Ireland. And so on the red player, we have Dash Rendar with Trickshot, Bistan, Perceptive Co-Pilot, Outrider, and Rigged Cargo Chute. That's a fairly standard-ish Dash build. Obviously, the Bistan and Perceptive Co-Pilot working really well together there, and the trick shot as well, meaning you're getting a 5-dice primary shot twice with that double focus. And then he's got Jake Farrell with Predator and Wedge Antilles with Predator, both initiative for A-Wings there, with good abilities and a bit of a force multiplier. Obviously, Jake able to give even more action efficiency over to Dash if he's nearby.
So,
and then over on the blue player, we have Rich Polley, a teammate of mine and also a co-worker. I work with him now, which is really weird.
Ooh, spicy.
He gets me all the time, but I am professional at work most of the time. with resistance list. Rich does love his resistance.
And he's very correct.
Yep. So he's got Veni in the Star Fortress with Trajectory Simulator, Pattern Analyzer, Perceptive Copilot, Veteran Turret Gunner, Page Tico, Seismic Chargers, and Proton Bombs. Now that is a fat Veni, but lots of shenanigans for dropping bombs, rotating turret with Page Tico, and things like that. Sorry, after you perform primary attack, you can drop a bomb or rotate your turret. So some shenanigans there. Veteran Turret Gunner means that they can shoot twice out the front. Sometimes you see it with C3PO, but he's gone for a full fat Veni with Perceptive Copilot on this. And again, able to throw out seismic chargers and proton bombs with the Trajectory Simulator.
It's a very chunky Veni.
Chunky indeed. With Joff Sea Striker, which isn't a T-70 I'm familiar with too much, but after you lose a shield, gain 1 evade token. So he's got a little bit of capability there to mitigate some damage if he gets shot at. But the important thing on there is M9G8. Normally we'll see it with Lieutenant Bistan or Bastion or something like that, which is the one that lets you gain a target lock on something when it takes damage. But M9G8 is really, really good because it means that first round you'll see him take a lock on Veni, which means that it gives Veni another modification to his lots and lots of shots. And Heroic, which is pretty much staple to every ship that can take it.
Like, hate is a big word, especially in this context. But at this point, I'm really not a fan of Heroic's omnipresence. Like, I really feel it should be limited somehow.
What do you like less? Do you like Heroic or do you like Zam less?
Ooh, that's a tough cookie. That's a tough cookie to swallow. So, Zam is underpriced. That's my opinion. But if I were to choose what I like less, he is Heroic.
Fair, good to know. And then the final ship rounding out Richard's list is ZZ Tlo, which is the Initiative 5 A-Wing. Which is after you defend or perform an attack, you may spend 1 charge to gain 1 focus or 1 evade token. Really, really good ship. It's probably the most common A-Wing that you see. She's backed up with advanced optics and cluster missiles, and then there's some shenanigans there with performing the attack with cluster missiles and getting the attack ability for the second shot and advanced optics. So some fairly consistent damage output there. Again with Heroic. Do we know who is first player? I guess we'll find out.
We do not know who is first player. Let me see if they have any initiative matching.
Yeah, they've got initiative overlap. So basically, if Dash moves before ZZ, we know that Croatia is first player. Nope.
ZZ move. So Rich has initiative. Stays there.
Yeah. So who would you put your money on if you saw this matchup then? Ignore the players, just look at the list.
Oh, like, I know Rich via Discord. I'm sure I have seen him, like, maybe at SOS UK or wherever, European Championships. Maybe the same goes for Nicola, but I don't really know how they both play. So it's purely based on squads. Rich has a cool list. My problem with Ven is that he doesn't dodge. So, against Dash, my money is on Rebels.
Okay. Well, I've got to back my teammate. I've got to back Mr. Polley with his Veni shenanigans.
Okay. So basically, hi Riesling. So people in the chat, if you want us to, I don't know, let's say you can make your own bets on who's gonna win, and one of the viewers, let's say who gets the winning player, is gonna have a picture mailed to his or her house of me and Darren hugging very tenderly.
Aww.
Yes.
Aw. So what's our wager on this then, Filippo? If you're right, what do you win? If I'm right, what do I win?
Pizza is always a good prize. So whenever we see each other, hopefully that's in Italy because English pizza is rubbish. Oh no. Anyways, pizza is on me whether you win or lose the bet.
Including pineapple?
Yes, including pineapple. I am
Amazing.
I am definitely not against pineapple on pizza if the pizza is good.
Controversial, but why not?
I once had.
I think the sweetness gives something that, like, especially with it's like something salty, like cheese or like various meats and things like that.
Like the classic Hawaiian pizza, I think is fine. Like there's one caveat. I don't know if it's the proper term.
Caveat, yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, because people associate pineapple pizza with canned pineapple. That's the issue. Canned pineapple is like super duper sweet. So people think about pineapple pizza. Oh no, it's gonna be like super sweet and blah. But you gotta think about fresh pineapple. That's definitely
fresh pineapple's got that sourness to it. That kind of, it's got that kick.
Yeah, like one of the best things I ever had. I will add in my mouth so everyone can make an easy joke.
And I've been in mouth, so I'm expecting this is going to be me.
You're definitely second place.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. One of the best thing I ever had in my mouth was KFC style fried chicken that we made at home with very thick slices of pineapple in the sandwich, and I gotta say, ooh boy. Ooh
Interesting. Well, I know the Australians are quite fond of sometimes pineapple in burgers, but especially things like beetroot.
Oh yeah.
Like, in fact, your wife's Australian, isn't she? So you would know this.
Yep, she is. And last time we went, was it last time or was it not the time before? Yeah, when we went to Australia to obviously visit the family, it was the first time I had a burger with beetroot, and ooh boy, it was good, and ooh boy, it was funny because I peed purple for like half a day.
Nice. Well, that might be something completely different, but less said about that, the better.
So Connor says, did someone let Darren on a stream? Yes, obviously we did. I mean, we are a serious channel.
Hi, Connor.
Darren, if you think that anybody should join the stream, just let me know.
Join the stream, as in what? Commentate?
Yep.
No, it's me and you.
Okay, you can have all my attention.
Yeah.
Oh, we are starting with the shenanigans, and one obstacle goes away. It was one
so we've
poor
seen
debris boy.
And that's the second obstacle we've seen go.
Oh yeah,
so effectively. Yeah, so what's been happening is like the first move, as we saw, Joff Sea Striker took the target lock there on Venny, and Venny cleared himself some room using his trajectory simulator to blow up a couple of those objects to effectively open up this whole section, which, when you think about it, Dash doesn't like that, because Dash wants to be able to hide. And that's where I think one of the edges here is the fact that he's been able to recharge and reload his seismic charges is great, because it means that he can keep blowing up obstacles, giving Dash nowhere to hide to trigger his ship ability like Outrider, but also it means that he can't trigger Trick Shot. So
it's a great weapon. It's a great it's a great combo. Yeah. Mostly because it's also useful against other archetypes. Like, I don't think that Dash was Reach's first thought.
No, not at all.
When he was building this, I think that the annoying robot thingies, the separatist Vulture droids, and maybe Scam, Han Solo, and Kira and stuff could have been on his priority list.
Yeah, all valid things. Seismic charges we don't see too much of nowadays, because obviously things like thermal detonators are such a good utility and so cheap. Yeah. We see more of them, especially with the combinations of Zam and Dooku, because obviously you can just guarantee the damage there. But I like the seismic charges in this matchup just for doing what Rich is doing and clearing out space for that big old chunky Venny to be able to squeeze through. It's just so much utility.
I'm definitely not an expert in playing in general, but especially in playing Rebels, and very especially in playing Dash. I would have imagined Nicola to like get a much more aggressive, how do you say, start of the game. Like I would have imagined like Dash to run through the bottom of the screen and try and hunt down Vinny, but these seismic charges have been a pretty good deterrent in stopping ideally his plan.
Yeah, and it's that threat as well, because there's so much range out the front of Venny if he does throw things like a proton bomb. Dash has got to be careful. I wouldn't be surprised here. I think either Dash is going to probably do either a 3 bank to the right to kind of come down towards Wedge, or he's just going to do a hard one to the left and try and run around the remaining obstacles and try and get around the back of ZZ and Joff. Because obviously, as you see here, Rich is doing a good job of trying to kind of use them to corral and close the net. Because Venny puts out so much damage that people just don't realise, just with A, the trajectory simulator of coming towards him, but B, the double modded shot because of the M9G8 and the Perceptive Copilot and Rose Tico being able to keep the time on target is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that you would not try to joust and or face unless you are very squishy, very sneaky, also very fast to get away from his bombs.
Okay, so Richard's making a call there to think that Dash may be coming up towards Wedge, or the A-Wings might be turning in. So if Dash has turned to the left, he might be able to avoid Venny. But the other challenge is Venny there can quite easily throw a bomb forward next round and threaten the debris field or the rock with the seismic, which means that Wedge potentially could lose a quarter of his health.
Interesting thing is that Venny, like this is going to be a very Venny mono-thematic stream, but just so you know, Venny, to me, it has the amazing aspect, like the amazing feature that he has the widest firing arc on the planet, because he has a 3 red dice front arc weapon and then the ribbon turrets, so he can shoot front, left and right without any issue.
And drop a bomb out the back.
Yeah, that's...
I don't think... Is there any other ship that's got a front arc and a turret at the side? So, like, the Shadowcaster has, but it's not both sides?
Maybe not both sides. It has a 1/4 turret. I was thinking about the Y-Wing, but the Y-Wing does... No ribbon turret on the Y-Wing either. So the only other ships with the dual turret are the Falcon, that definitely does not have a front arc, and maybe the Decimator?
No, the Decimator doesn't have a front arc.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's maybe the only ship that has this feature. If we are wrong, please feel free to correct us in the chat.
Send all your complaints to Gold Squadron at goldsquadron.com. I don't know.
Poor Dion, don't do this. Don't do this.
So, send it feedback at backtodials.com.
Oh yeah. So Salandra was saying that he or her, I honestly don't recognize the nickname, never thought of a beetroot in a burger before. Mouth is salivating now. Yes,
it's really good. It's so earthy. It adds that earthy tone to it, but also a little bit of juice.
Yes, that we're always.
So here we see Dash with a range 3 shot into ZZ, who's got focus evade. He doesn't get his trick shot, and so he's not got much in terms of modification. He's got a target lock.
Okay.
Target lock.
That's very convenient, I would say. And there he goes for 3 hits and 1 crit, spending 1 of his focuses. Ooh.
That's unlucky on Richard's part. He should have probably had another bit of paint there, statistically. So losing half points on ZZ so early is a little bit disappointing for him. But again, it's variance. I don't know whether we've got any other shots here.
I wouldn't think so.
Oh, we've got side art shot.
Oh, see? Penny?
So I wouldn't expect much from this, but Wedge is naked.
Oh!
He gets a...
Nope.
That's the M9G8 reroll. So Wedge could take a damage.
Statistics! Nope.
No, it's plot armor.
God damn it. Plot armor. I'm gonna say
obviously Wedge can't die in this matchup because obviously he has to grow up and fly an X-wing and then be a gunner in a shitty salvaged Millennium Falcon.
Speaking of plot armors and controversial hot takes, without revealing too much, I'm gonna say that I was not crazy about season 7 of the Clone Wars. Like, final episodes were good, but I think the season itself was stretched way too much.
Well, the thing is, Bad Batch was a build-up to the Bad Batch series.
Yeah, my problem is that the Bad Batch maybe my expectations were too high.
I mean, I loved it. I loved the final season of Clone Wars. But yeah, Bad Batch build up, and then given the Ahsoka Underground kind of thing, I think they were probably testing it for spin-offs with that story arc. And then obviously, I mean, I loved that final arc.
The final arc was awesome, but I think it was like 12 episodes, so the first 3 or 4...
There were 4 episodes, so they did... oh no, was it 3 I can't remember.
3 arcs, yeah. Arc 1 was...
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Arc 2 is Ahsoka doing Ahsoka things.
Yeah.
And then Arc 3 is the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah, so 4 episodes per, yeah.
Yeah, the central arc, Ahsoka doing Ahsoka things, it was not bad. It was just too long. It was way too stretched.
Yeah, and I think that was purely, I think, as I say, to test out how those characters worked as a kind of a side bit to see if they were going to do a spin-off. I don't know, I could be wrong introducing those characters. And again, no spoilers that are going on there. But, I mean, the obvious question now is, who had the better corridor scene? Darth Vader in Rogue One, Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, or Luke in The Mandalorian?
My money is on Darth Maul.
Yeah, I think the Darth Maul one was great, especially the holding a clone trooper in some closing doors to sever a limb. Like, that's just beautiful.
That's a very artistic use of both a door and a limb. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he thinks outside the box, you know? Give him some credit. I think my money would have to be on Vader. Like, my pick, I mean, I love Rogue One as a film. It's one of my favourite Star Wars films, and I will fight anybody that says otherwise. It's such a good film. But Vader, that standing in a corridor, and let's not forget, like, he is being a dramatic little bitch with that, because he's had to turn off his life support. For his lights to not be on to make that dramatic entrance, he's got to turn his life support off.
Yep. He was like, more to my breath.
Hold his breath, hope he doesn't fart in his suit, turns the life support off, and then scares the shit out of some rebels by turning all his lights on in his lightsaber. Like, surprise, bitches! And then just going to town. That
Wow.
Yeah, and the music for it was perfect.
I don't know, I really liked Rogue One. I had, like, I don't want to be, like, too anal about these movies. Like, they are good entertainment, but rewatching it after some time, I had some issues with the pace of the movie. I mean, great movie, it's just my subjective, you know.
Yeah.
The pace from time to time seemed a bit off, like crescendo, we're going up, and we're building up to nothing, another scene. So
yeah, and I think that's possibly in terms of how they did the cut and the edit, because there's some stuff that we obviously didn't see. Like, there were some scenes with Jin running through, because I think the original cut was Jin and Cassian were supposed to get away. But
Yeah.
I actually quite like that they died.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy. I don't know if I can say it's an easy solution to not have any, loose ends on the plot.
Yeah.
But it's a good solution to not have any loose ends on the plot. Just let everyone die. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Rogue One,
They all die. If you haven't, you should, but they all die.
I mean, it's like it came out in 2016. Like, what the hell are you doing if you haven't watched it already? Maybe 2017. I don't know. It's been out a while. You're not really a Star Wars fan if you haven't seen it. Stop watching this stream and go watch Rogue One.
Yeah, but also speaking of spoilers, like I don't have big issues with being spoiled stuff. Like to me, the entertainment is not getting to the big reveal point, is getting there. Like I like to see the work of entertainment and fiction as a whole, not as just a driver to that reveal scene or that something happening in episode whatever of season 9.
Nope, that's fine. Right, I think Rich has finally set his dials. Yep.
Yep.
And we see a seismic charge being thrown by Venny. I think we're probably going to see a full stop by Venny as well. Full stop focus with his pattern analyzer would be my money.
That makes complete sense because he has a very wide. No? Okay.
Oh, hey. Controversial.
Okay. That's more controversial than the O.J. Simpson trial.
Is it though? Is it though? Who knows?
That's a stretch. Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting that he's gone there. Maybe he's trying to kind of call the bluff or didn't want to get caught by Wedge coming in behind. It's interesting to see what his thought process there was with that. Who knows? Maybe he wants to.
Is he going to sacrifice? No, I don't think he's going to sacrifice a shield or whatever on Venny because of those asteroids, because they are definitely too far.
Is this asteroid too far? It probably is, just a little bit out. The question is, I think that debris catches Venny.
Okay. Fair
and it might catch Joff. So that's why I'm a little. It's very danger close. It might be just in. It might be just out.
The shape of the debris kind of helps Venny. Definitely does not help Joff.
Yeah, he's either a genius or lucky.
I would like to say that a man that dubs himself the clown of Team Ireland is definitely a genius.
Have you met Rich? I think it's probably going to be more luck than design if it doesn't hit.
Let's see, because Dash is jolly going around.
Dash has to focus. The question is, I mean, if that seismic charge manages to clip that asteroid, then Dash is not happy. If it doesn't, he might get a 5-die shot out of it. I gets it. Yeah, take that asteroid. Yeah. Take that dirty rock.
F off, rock! This reminds me of a guy I've seen yesterday on Reddit who drove into a parking lot, jumped out of the car and started beating up a bush. Fuck you, bush! I'm gonna punch you! I'm gonna punch you so much! He keeps punching this poor bush for like good 20 seconds.
I want to see that. I want to see a guy jump out and punch a bush.
Just so you know, guys, it's on Reddit, on the subreddit r/idiots fighting things.
Wait, do you mean a bush as in a shrubbery or a bush as in George Bush? Because that's very, very different.
Like, I mean, it would have been super funny if it was a Bush family component being beaten up randomly. Like, not because I enjoy violence, but, would have been... Yes, maybe I enjoy violence. Damn it! I'm an awful person. No, it's just a...
So there we see ZZ fire into Jake Farrell using advanced optics to guarantee the 2 hits, but Jake managing to dodge out of it without having to spend anything. And now we've got Dash having a shot into what appears to be Venny. What's the... Oh, and yep. Checking for the arc for Veni's ability.
And
Dash getting hit crit there.
reroll. You're gonna use a
Yep.
focus. Yep.
And this is the annoying thing with Veni. And for those that aren't aware of that interaction, basically, while you defend, if the attacker is in a friendly ship's mobile arc, you may add 1 focus to the result. And because he's in Veni's mobile arc, he gets to add a focus to the result.
That's where his ribbon mobile arc comes extremely handy.
Yep. And then we see Dash then shoot into Joff. Joff getting 2 evades, losing 2 shields, but then also gaining 2 evades. Because his ability isn't once per round, it's after you use 1 shield. So guess what? He gets 2 evades. Unfortunately, he's not going to take another shot, so they're probably going to be wasted. Because he's not got an ability to keep it. And now we've got Jake going into Veni with 1.
Yeah, but still, very cool move.
Yep, it was guaranteed to evade that if he wanted to, because Jake was in the arc of ZZ, so then Veni's ability triggers. And so can always add that eyeball result if he didn't get anything else.
Oh.
It's a shame there with getting
Yeah.
that 1 eyeball. Yeah.
Yep, evaded.
Can't help but think variance is on the side of Team Croatia at the minute.
It's
Okay, so M9G8 reroll.
no. Variance on the side of Croatia, yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
Dash finally taking a damage, and then we'll see Veni take a shot out the side with his 2 dice into Dash again.
Dash actually lost another.
Yeah,
he's
from the
2
bomb.
shields.
From
Oh,
the...
yeah, no, I was saying like he's 2 shields down.
Yeah. And
3,
Dash
maybe? Yeah, 3 shields down.
chipping away, but taking probably slightly less than statistical. But it's still an open game. Croatia obviously having points on the board at the moment with the half of ZZ, but there's still just under 50 minutes left in the match. Veni not having any more seismics, I think, is an interesting one. Probably see a hard 2 from him this turn, just to keep his arcs round and relevant, because Dash doesn't really have much place to run.
I would say he kind of cornered himself.
A little bit, but he can get away. I mean, this Dash in 2nd edition is very different from Dash in 1st edition. 1st edition Dash you just saw with engine upgrade and could easily get out of things. Coming back to what we were saying earlier with Veni having that huge arc, it means that Dash doesn't really have anywhere that he can get away. And Rich has done a really good job of how he's engaged with the angles, because it means that Dash will struggle to get out of arc and just kind of keep chipping away at him. Surprised that we didn't see a reload action the turn prior to get another seismic charge back, because I think he could really do with one in this scenario to take out that asteroid that's left.
Yeah, on second thought, because like that was that a focus action, if I remember correctly, didn't really pay off. Like,
yeah, he was out of range. Now at the time he didn't know where Dash was going to be, but I think it was a coin toss. Like, it's easy for me to sit here and say in hindsight should have reloaded.
yeah, sure.
Like it is what it is. But I'm saying it after it. But it's those marginal differences that may cost Rich there not having a seismic charge here. He's got a proton bomb, which is quite lucky to keep Wedge honest.
But I mean, Rich was also smart enough to, or maybe lucky enough, I don't know, to create a very good corridor for his Veni.
Yeah, I mean, here I would be surprised if we saw anything other than a hard 2 ship left with Veni. Zizi's in a really good position to chase, and then we've also got Joff, who could probably just do. He's moving after Veni, so maybe a one bank, maybe a one straight, just to keep again his arc nice and open and wide. Keeping Wedge honest. Jake's starting to be pinned in. Dash has got to be careful because he's heading towards the corner. Dash has got to really try and make a
Or
run for it.
maybe even a two straight, so in case Wedge tries to close in, he kind of can try to stay behind the rock, or if there's room, like move forward and try and hunt down Dash.
Yeah. I don't hate any of those. He's got definite options with Joff in terms of where he goes, and again with ZZ. I think it'd be nice to try and see ZZ pick up a lock here, just to kind of close in with those cluster missiles later on. I mean, ZZ's firing before Dash anyway, so can quite easily pick up a focus or an evade. But with having both shields down, it's a tough one to not go into an engagement with focus and evade.
There's one question that I always like to ask to the co-hosts is...
I'm not wearing any underwear.
Neither am I.
Oh, I thought that's what you were going to ask. Sorry.
No. Like, I take that for granted. Like, nobody has to... Like, we are going commando more than the commando cast.
Yep, fair.
Yeah, I mean... shout out to Commando Cast, one of the best Star Wars Destiny, now kind of defunct game. Sorry, podcasts. What would be...
Isn't Destiny defunct?
Oh, yeah. Let's say that Fantasy Flight Games pulled a nice trick.
Oh, no, it's a complete game, isn't it?
Yep. It's complete. And they said, oh, you know what, it's complete because of this, because of that. Everybody is like, oh yeah, okay, production issues because it was too expensive and we're not making enough money from it. Okay, no worries, we're gonna have a last set issued as a OP kit. Guess what happened? Oh no, there's kind of been a pandemic, so we're gonna save an awful lot of money and not print this. F off. I love complete games. They are my favorite, especially when I invested money and time on them.
Oh.
Oh, well, whatever.
So anyway, what was your question?
Yes. Imagining yourself on both sides of the game, what would be your fire priority? Your target priority?
I would want to get rid of Dash if I was the Resistance. And I think if I was the Rebels, it's a tough one. Venny is very much a trap sometimes because he's so tanky. Like, the one shield he's done is Venny did that to Venny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did the hard one. Pattern analyzer, so he can still do a focus action.
Ooh, are you sure you want to get that close?
Well, the thing is, he can now give a focus to Dash, and Dash gets the double focus. He can then boost to be in the rear arc. Possibly. It's going to be close.
Yep.
That's what he's looking at now. Yep. Ooh, that is nice and close. But I think he's just out. I think he's very much out.
Could be just out.
Yeah. So Dash now, potentially, depending on where he's gone, if Dash has done, I suppose if he's done a hard one, hard two, he might bump, and we should get a couple of shots from Joff. But by Jake doing what he's done...
Ooh, 3. Okay.
So Dash probably going to barrel roll out. Because he doesn't want to be in that range 1 sensor slot or take a 4-die shot. But he's already got the focus from Jake, so he's relatively happy there.
So
if he can
barrel out and front.
Wedge might have... No, Wedge looks like he's out from a shot, so I think the only shots we're going to get this round are on... Yep. So no shot there from ZZ.
So half an hour has passed and Croatia is leading by 26 points. let's see if this round changes something.
So Dash going into Sea Striker now. Can't kill him unless he gets some good crits. So there we've got 3 hits.
Spicy. And, oh, okay. Last shield and Joff gets an evade.
Yep. Which again isn't going to come into effect because he's not going to get shot at by anybody else, I don't think. Now we see him going into Veni. Unfortunately, Veni won't be able to do his shenanigans. And that's a lot of...
That's a lot of damage, yeah.
Okay, he's not spending.
That's... Okay, he's keeping everything for defense.
I think that's a mistake not spending there.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, you've got 2. At most, you're taking 3 shots. You could have put a nice crit into Veni there. But hey-ho. He decided not to. No shot there from Wedge. No shot from Jake. So we're over to Sea Striker.
Am I missing something on Veni?
In what case?
Because he had... I don't know why on the interface he had 4 shields. Don't know why. No, maybe I misclicked earlier and I didn't.
There's 3 in Dash. Dash taking another shield.
Yep.
Just shy of half points. So Veni needs to do 1, and he's got the ability to do 2 shots. M9G8 reroll. So 3
hits.
Half points on Dash.
Not yet, I think. Yes, definitely half points
Yep.
on Dash.
And then the Veni reroll, the Veni switch thing, and then spend for hit crit. So could be lucky and see a crit going into Dash here. No.
Nope.
Spend focus. But you see, if Dash should have spent that focus on offense, that would have been a crit through into Veni. Again, hindsight.
No, but honestly, gut feeling, I would have done the same. Like without much, future-proofing your turn. Like if I have the possibility to push a potentially very dangerous crit into the chunkiest enemy ship, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and I would always try and push that crit through, because something like a hull breach on Veni, or even like a blinded pilot or weapon failure, and you effectively neutralize him. There are so many good crits to take away from Veni.
But yeah, given the fact that he has agility 1, and how many is that? 8 hull, 9 hull, however much hull he has. By putting a fuel leak on Veni, you are kind of halving its life expectancy. So,
or something like a fuel leak, or a hull breach, or a direct.
Sorry.
A panicked pilot here would be horrible. There are so many good crits. Like, I think the only one crit that you're not really fussed about is if you go over an obstacle, then you take a damage, because no one ever does that anyway. Dash is in a difficult spot now, because the only blues he's got is a 1 bank or a 1 or 2 straight. He can't do the 1 or 2 straight, so he's got to do a 1 bank, which puts him in a really difficult position. Would I be happy trading Dash for Veni? Probably not. I'd probably want to see a little bit more out of Veni.
You know what? My problem with, now that I think about it, the Rebel list is that once Dash is gone, can Jake and Wedge close the game?
And that's the question. With ZZ, I think, had ZZ not taken half points, I would be much more confident if Veni and Dash were off the board in the Resistance being able to pick it up. But as it is, because ZZ's already down at half, you've got to be careful once those shields are gone, because one direct hit and you're out. Like yeah. I mean, Veni in this instance, because he did the hard 1 rather than the hard 2, which I understand obviously for
Yeah,
reasons.
he left room for Jove to get
Yeah,
in.
he left room for Joe, but I think if he'd have done the hard two, he wouldn't be stressed. He'd have a much more open dial. And I think Jake would have struggled with the shenanigans that he did in terms of where he is. But it's meant that he's had range onto dash, so it is what it is. But now the only option he's got is again a 1 or 2 straight or 1 banks. So very similar to the to what Dash's options are here. So I think we'll probably see a 1 bank from Venny, and focus, and possibly something like a 2 or a 3 bank from Joff, because Joff wants to get into that range 1.
He has to get into the range 1. Like,
I'd love to see a 3 bank here from Joff and a focus, just to get into range 1 of Dash, really put the hurt in. He can't lose Joff to range 1 Dash because Dash doesn't get the range 1 bonus. In fact, he loses a dice. So he'd get 3 dice going into him as opposed to the 4. So he would be safe. So there we see the 1 bank and the 3.
There he goes.
And that gives Joff some options next turn. Dash only having
2 bank. I'm thinking not 2 bank left.
No, he's got a 1 bank because it's blue.
Oh.
The only blue maneuver he's got is 1 or 2 straight or a 1 bank.
Yeah, but like if you have a look at a Reach's playmat, like whatever that green thing is, you can see that he pulled out the maneuver card.
Yeah.
For Dash.
Yeah. Which is great. It really shows, use the tools that you've got available just to have a look. Say, right, where can Dash go? I know that he's going to want to clear his stress, so he's going to be there.
Because he effectively blocked a 1 bank to the left, barrel roll to the inside of the table to get out of Joff's arc.
I hope we see a target lock here from Rich with ZZ to fire those cluster missiles. Like, the only ship that's going to shoot you this turn is probably Wedge. So if you take the lock, you can fire your cluster missiles at Jake and at Wedge.
And do damage.
Yep, here we go. Taking the lock, get those cluster missiles off. As soon as the cluster missiles are fired, you take an evade and guarantee that Wedge can't kill you.
So I do have to read 2 comments. The first one is a blank comment from Mr. Dutch Fender. I'm not gonna say anything about that blank comment because I know that blank comment was engineers suck, architects rule. Thank you, Nicola. The other comment I would like to read is, why are there no proper bombs on Venny?
That was a ballsy move by Dash there, but ultimately it's put him in a really difficult spot because he's now at range 1 of Venny and Joff, and he's in both of Venny's arcs. So here's the cluster missiles from ZZ, hit crit into Jake. Jake thinking about what he's going to do, spends the focus, takes a shield, and then probably see another charge being spent to fire into Wedge with cluster missiles as well.
And there he goes.
Yep. Oh. Again, the variance there not being on his side and taking the evade, so that Rich now knows that whatever happens with with Wedge, if Wedge goes into ZZ, not going to lose her. Dash's problem now is he's range 1 of both Venny and Joff and doesn't have a focus. So he's only getting 1 shot. He might go into ZZ to try and take that ship out.
Yeah, but it's a range 3 shot. He doesn't benefit from trick shot, and ZZ has an evade. So 3 dice.
Yeah, I think focus your fire on 1 ship and see what you can do.
Never gonna happen.
Matter.
Nope.
The only reason I think ZZ is because if you get her to spend that evade, Wedge could potentially kill her.
Ooh.
So we've got Venny at range 2 or Joff at range 3.
I think Ven is range 1, maybe?
No, if you
Range
look in
two.
the chat, it's just range 2.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to Venny. He's not in Venny's side arc, so Venny doesn't add the eyeball, but he's in ZZ's arc, so he can. And
There
we
he
see
goes.
there the defensive ability of Venny.
Told you, Reach has the coolest resistance list in the tournament.
Yeah. Venny is such a great thing. Now Wedge firing in, Venny doesn't get a green die, but he's guaranteed a focus result. What's not to love? So Wedge at most he's going to do 1 damage here on whichever ship he fires at, and does nothing.
So tables have turned, variance wise.
Yeah, so now we've got Joff going into dash at range 1. So 4 dice shot. Got the focus for the modification.
He's gonna be like Oprah, and you get the damage, and you get the damage, and you get the damage.
Oh, that's
ouch! That stings. That's 3 damage on dash.
so dash is down to 2, and he's taking 2 shots in from Venny. Range 1 primary. M9G8 reroll.
Oh,
That's a dead dash.
that's dead dash. Yep.
Not only that, though, he can then fire. If he wants to, he could rotate and fire at Jake. Yep, there we go. And it's probably range 1.
So.
No, it's range 2, because obviously Jake was at range 2. What an idiot. But yeah, dead dash, and then shooting into Jake, who's got no tokens. Spend the focus.
And that's 2 hits. And half Jake.
That's half points on Jake. So I think that puts the resistance in the lead now.
Yes, because at the moment with exactly half an hour on the clock, just so you know guys, my timer is about 20 seconds late than the actual game timer. Apologies. Rich is leading 143 to 26. This because he has half Jake and a whopping 125 points dash render.
Cool. I've just had a request from my favourite short man in all of X-Wing.
Is that Nick Harris?
No. Reed. The shortest, angriest man in all of X-Wing. What's the name of the stream this is on?
So, this is on YouTube, Starfighters Italia. I'm gonna send you the link via private message on there it goes if my browser works. Yep.
That's why I couldn't find it on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I don't really do Twitch. I'm not pretty enough.
Aw, I would love to watch you in a hot tub.
Gary, just so you know, I would like to file a formal complaint against the green color of Pride, not because I have anything against the green color of Pride, it's just that it's burning my eyeballs. It's so bright, it's burning my eyeballs.
That is a ballsy play by Rich there. He's just dropped a proton bomb and then gone, fuck you, I'm going to full stop and block you. So, Venny's taken a crit, but he's just kind of decided, I don't care. Because, I'm surprised by the full stop for Venny taking a crit, because if Venny here takes a damaged engine, he's a little bit buggered. And there's Wedge doing a K-turn. Interesting. So Wedge is going to take a couple of shots from Venny here. See where ZZ goes. Okay, 4 straight. Maybe a focus rotate. Yeah. So because he's got the lead now, he can afford to be a little bit more ballsy. I just think with Jake having that clear out there,
Yep.
is probably going to cost Rich more, and it is a panicked pilot.
Ooh, that's annoying.
Well, it is, but like at least it's not a death sentence. If it was a damaged engine, then that's a dead Venny. Panicked. Okay, he can't obviously do any actions for a while, so he's going to be limping, but he's still got the hard 2 turn open to him. So there we've got ZZ going into Wedge.
2 hits. Ooh.
There's Wedge taking half points because he did a K turn and he's got no. Probably see a dead Wedge this round because he's going to take a couple of shots from Venny as well.
Tokenless A-wings do not work.
Yeah. So Wedge going range 1 into Venny.
Gary, yes, your Team Ireland playmat is burning my eyes with pride. Okay.
So Venny taking 1 there from Wedge, guaranteeing the eyeball result. And then we've got Jake range 1 into Joff.
Yeah, a very honest 3 hits. Shot.
Hopefully he took a focus.
I don't think he did. He's already rummaging through damage cards.
What? Oh, he took a boost action. Did he? Or did he just not do an action? Who knows? So it's very, very wounded Joff.
But who knows? Don't care. Just deal damage.
So range 1 now into Wedge, and then we'll see a range 1 possibly into Jake. M98 reroll.
La 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 la. That's a blank.
So Wedge needing 2 evades here. Gets the 2 evades.
La la. That was close.
Oh no, he's doing the rotate and he's going to shoot him again out the butt. Because it is a rotate. It's not a rotate action, it's just a rotate. M98 reroll. Again, gets 2. So can Wedge defy the odds and get 2 evades again? Nope. That's a
dead wedge. A very dead wedge.
So for those that aren't familiar, Page Tico reads, after you perform a primary attack, you may drop 1 bomb or rotate your turret arc. It's not a rotate action, and so that means that he can do it even while stressed. And then Veteran Turret Gunner kicks in and says, after you perform a primary attack, you may perform a bonus turret attack using a turret attack you did not already attack from this round. And because the turret is a primary attack, not only it's not the front arc that's necessarily a primary attack, it's still a primary weapon. He gets to rotate and shoot again.
Insane. Okay. I think not Gary. Sorry. Who was that? Kevin pointed out that this was a. No, sorry. Salandra pointed out that this was a massive turn for Reach, referring to the previous round, and yes, that turn literally turned the tables. Like.
Did he? What did he? Sorry, I've literally just put the stream on. I was like, it's a little bit behind, and then I realized.
Yeah, there's 90 seconds forced delay just to, since we're all playing online for like 7 weeks, just to avoid stream sniping or unwanted suggestions or interference.
No, that's all good. We can do a lot in 90 seconds, Filippo.
Oh yeah, multiple times. Plus, that's the thing. About XTC, we were discussing with Oli and Bartosz on his stream, that running it online, it has obviously opportunities because you can involve everyone in the world since you don't have to travel, but it has challenges.
Yeah, it's expensive to travel, and sometimes it feels a little bit like the X-Wing elite that can afford to travel.
Yeah.
And doing it online, it means that people like Malaysia and Australia, who would never come to Euros, yes, they probably could, but it's really expensive for them, and global pandemic.
Yeah.
It opens it up, but obviously I know there's some tech issues with to do with kind of distance and setting dials and things like that. I think that's been fixed now, hasn't it?
Yes, it has been fixed. Flipster's team worked a few days on reducing lag-induced issues and removing the issue where you like had to kind of double tap on set the maneuver to actually set it, because otherwise it would be stuck with the maneuver from the previous turn. In the meantime, we are seeing. I didn't really read who's attacking. I think that's
Easy firing into Jake at
Yeah.
range 1, getting hit crit, and Jake rolling 2 evades and an eyeball
Ooh.
to avoid that damage. But again, gonna take probably a double shot from Venny. But
I would remove the probably.
yeah, probably going to take Joff off the board. But it is an unmodified shot into Joff, so
Yeah, but at this point you can easily trade in Joff.
yeah, I know it's one of those things as X-Wing players, we want to try and hold on to as many points as we can. So Rich doing a good job there. Just 1 crit. Should be okay, because obviously...
And there it goes.
Yeah, because if he'd have rolled paint there, he can modify it to cancel it. If he rolls double blank, he's got heroic. But yeah, here we see Venny now going into Jake, range 1. Only single modded from M9G8, but it could be enough.
Nope.
Does the damage. Jake down to 1, and gets his then turret arc shot and gets 3. So this is probably game over.
Statistics are not on his. There we go. That's game over. Yep.
Really, really well flown there by Rich in this matchup. I mean, well flown by the Rebel player as well, but Rich Polley just really showing there what a well flown Venny can really do to people, because people don't see him very often. He's not had a 2nd edition release. It's not really a very popular ship, because people think, well, you've got to dump a load of points onto it, and it will die quite quickly. But having an A-wing in there to add that mobile turret arc and his own ability can be quite tanky. And some of the builds you see, obviously, sometimes is Venny with stealth device. And when you originally look at it and you go, why would he have stealth device? He's only got 1 agility. That's ridiculous. So you're going to lose it straight away. Venny's taken 5 damage in that game, and 2 of those were from Venny himself with his own bombs. Like, calculated risks.
I know, but that's like a solid squad. It takes definitely some skill to be flown. Like, both these lists really take skill and balls to be flown. I would never... I stated in the link stream thing on the XTC Discord that the Rebel list has the best wedge. Yes, wedge on an X-Wing is tankier, but wedge on an X-Wing is much more boring and predictable. This is still best wedge to me.
The wedge?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Hot take. Yep.
What, because of the maneuverability?
Yep. He gets there faster and better than an X-Wing. Problem is, you don't want to leave him tokenless.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because let me have a look. Yeah. The follow-up to the previous statement is, I think that A-Wings should have one of either Starburst Slash or the new Cannon Thingy configuration.
The problem is, if you give one of them, they've both got to have the cannon.
Yeah, then I'm not going to bring Jake and bring something different.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understood completely what he was doing with Jake, to be that force multiplier, to give the focus results to Dash, so that Dash could take a target lock or do a barrel roll and reposition himself. So I get it. I understand why it's there. Yeah, just unfortunate. I think having a bit of a hard counter as well, because as we were saying before, you don't see that many seismics now. There were all the rage at the beginning of first edition, at the beginning of second edition. Really, really useful, but they've fallen out of favor with things like thermal
The
detonators.
very undercosted thermal detonators.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But in this match, Dash wants objects, and he didn't have any, didn't get any. So not being able to kind of protect himself and use trick shot, or the outrider title didn't come into play at all. But yeah, nice.
I'm not gonna say that Reach nullified Nicola's squad, but he definitely put a dent in Dash Render's usefulness in this game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, got rid of, from a toolbox point of view, it got rid of a few of Dash's tricks. It'd be interesting. Do you know who decided this matchup? Did Croatia pick this list to go against Rich?
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta say I didn't follow much because I've had a few pretty intense days between work and family stuff, so I didn't really follow. So if anybody viewing this stream knows, please drop in the comment if you have any idea of how this matchup happened. I see there's Simon and Gary and Kevin and sorry, my reading is really bad at this time of the day. There's Simon and Gary and Kevin all watching the game. If you don't mind telling us how the matchup was decided, we'd be really, really happy.
Yeah, I'd love to know whether the Rebels chose their fate in this matchup, or whether it was some good playing on Team Italy's side, and they decided they were going to put Rich's list up against Dash for that very reason. And that's one of the great things about XTC. It's that extra layer of, it's a game within a game of doing those pairing things like that. It's really good.
If I were to think about how this matchup happened, the Rebel list, the Croatian list, the Rebel list is not a list, I think, that you put forward. Is not a goalkeeper list. So I think maybe Croatia tried to bait a more, how do you say, profitable pairing, but they got stuck in it, something like that. Because the resistance list in this case, not because I'm amazed by Venny or stuff, but is much more of a Swiss army knife list. I don't know how many extremely unfavorable matchup it has.
Yeah, it plays the same in every game it plays. So there's really no real difference to how you would play the Venny list. It's not a jousting list, but it's not got a toolbox of things that it can do. Whereas, yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. I just read a comment from Gary saying that both teams, sorry, both players had this specific matchup as green.
I don't know what that means.
So usually the XTC captains ask their players to rate every single opponent of the opposing team with a color, ranging usually from green to dark deep red, the color of hell. Green meaning it's a favorable or doable matchup. Yellow being I can play with that, but I'm gonna feel sweaty in the butt crack. Orange or red meaning ooh no likey, and deep red or purple or whatever other color you want to choose is no please, I'm gonna die super fast. They both had the opponent as green, and honestly I concur with them. Yeah,
like I think if Dash should have got to do Dash things and take a couple of those like shotgun attacks of just horribleness, like 5 dice into an X-wing and even ZZ. I think being able to get a couple of rounds of shooting through an obstacle at those, I think that's where he probably should have gone and gone after the support ships first. Because if you'd have say trade Dash for the A wing and the X wing, I think Wedge and Jake can quite easily, with dodging, take out Venny.
Yes, definitely.
Even just chipping away from range. I think you take out the support pieces and then go after Venny with whatever you've got left.
Plus, like in this specific game, like, yes, Venny sustained damage, he lost the shields, but the attacks that could have really like pummeled through the hull with crits and stuff didn't really go through. Like mid-game, we saw dice variants go completely other way. A pretty famous podcaster co-host